Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Okay, making sure everything's working. I feel like we're live. Let me know if you're on. You can let me know. Just say hey or where you're from, what your weather is like today. We had beautiful weather this morning. I actually did a garage sale this morning and it was stunning outside. Although the outdoors are trying to kill me with the allergies, but it is what it is. And then there's rain coming, although I really don't know that we're gonna get any. And it's like almost chilly this evening. So yeah, burr, super cold. Okay, it's like 64 is what is what it said, but it felt chilly compared to 70s, 80s, and it was overcast. Does anyone else find that whenever it could be 70 degrees, sunny and feel warm and toasty or even hot, and then it could feel 70 cloudy and you're like, it's cold. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Anyway, it is 7:30. Oh, 7:31 now. So I will go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone. Hi, I am Laura with Laura's Stamp Pad, and today we are doing the May 2023 online card class using the Bright and Beautiful suite. So here is the Beautiful Balloons stamp set. Super fun. There's a lot of things that you could do with this stamp set that's not just birthday, but you could do graduation, baby, new job, lots of different things like that. The you did it and the yay you are so thrilled for you are so good for lots of different occasions. And I like that. I think it's time for a celebration because that's just, I don't know, it's a really cute greeting. And then there are coordinating dies of balloons and stars and tassels and fringe, and a really cute label. So super, super cute stuff. And we're going to get into that. So let's go ahead and get started. We're also going to be using the designer series paper, Bright and Beautiful. So you'll see that throughout, I think every single card maybe. Oh, that one doesn't use it, but almost all the cards use the designer paper. Of course, the card kits are sold out, but I do still have the PDF tutorial. You can always go to Etsy /shop/LaurasStampPad, or you can always do LaurasStampPad.etsy.com. They recently shortened it. I probably should just shorten that, but so you can do LaurasStampPad.etsy.com as well. One of the other things that was missing for so long. So if you did order the kit, you probably don't have your gems yet. These took forever to arrive. The order was supposed to come Saturday, then it got turned to Monday, then it got turned to Tuesday, and then it didn't come until late. But these are the tinsel gems that we will be using. So you can see there's a little bit of tinsel inside each of these colors. And honestly, this could really go as lemon lolly or as lemon lime twist. You could kind of play with that, play it up or down, whichever you prefer. It doesn't actually say the colors on the back, but yeah, I kind of played with it with these cards, and you could use any of the colors. So if you did order the kit, then these will be coming. Stay tuned. You can embellish later, okay? So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. If you do have the kit, the first card we're going to do is the bubble bath. I keep wanting to say bubble gum. I don't know why. I should know because bubble and bath both start with the letter B, which is what Stampin' Up! Always does for their colors. So yeah, so I always end up having to correct myself because I realize that, but I don't know. I always say that first. So this is the first card. You can see we use that fun fringe, this fun label, as well as the designer paper and stamping and those fun jewels. So we'll go ahead and we will fold our bubble bath cardstock in half. The other fun thing is on the inside of this, I just use scrap pieces to decorate. And since it's already light pink and easy to write on, then I didn't add another layer of basic white. So you could if you wish, or especially if you're like afraid you might make a mistake or something, then you could always do that and then adhere it later, knowing that you have that give room. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp the little confetti image all on the background in, not that, there's actually 2 confetti images. Let me bring back the stamp set. There's this confetti that's like dots and specks and stars. And then there's this one that's like specks and curly cues. So we're actually going to use the specks and stars, not the specks and curly cues. Because that's the technical term for that, right? Hi, Colleen. So excited to have you on. I know as I was just saying, your jewels are coming. They finally arrived, and so I will get them sent, or they're on their way. Okay, so we're just going to add some of this randomly all over. My random is usually a triangle pattern. So like I usually, I'll start here and then I'll come like down over here and then I'll stamp there. So you can see there's a triangle. So then my next one's going to be like over here. So then I'm going to do a triangle over there. And then these two, I'm going to do a triangle with it up top. So you can see all of mine is just like consecutive triangles. And you always want to make sure to fall off the cardstock so that it looks like your pattern is continuous and doesn't look like tight in your project. Okay, and technically I didn't need to do the entire thing except there is a little bit showing, so you could do it then. And I want to show you what I did for this. I know that whenever it comes to cutting diagonals, I freak out. I won't say everyone does, but I kind of freak out like, okay, well, what's the right angle? I'm going to tell you, there is no right angle for this, okay? So I cut the piece of designer paper into the layer that would go just under this. So my base is, with the card front, is a regular medium envelope. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So then my berry burst is 4 by 5 1/4. So then my next layer of designer paper is 3 3/4 by 5. So we're just going 1/4 in. Okay. So I have my designer paper and I literally just put it in the paper trimmer, just angled. It doesn't matter. Anything that's not perfectly up and down and not perfectly side to side, I just angled it. So technically you're going to get 2 pieces out of every cut. And so you could make this card twice. So some of the pieces, your card might go like this. Or some of the pieces, your card might go like this. And as you can see, this one goes the other way, which I guess technically, no. So like you can tell, and like this one's like really long. These 2 pieces, okay. Oh, that is so creepy. Well, I did angle it like almost the exact same way, but I tend to do that whenever it comes to like cutting stuff. So it's just like, I just eyeball it and turn so far. So yeah, there's no dimension to that except for it is a 3 3/4 by 5 and then cut diagonal. Okay, so I almost think I want to go this way. And that's how I'm going to do it. So it's also fun that this makes 2 cards because I like to tell everyone that you should really make 2 cards of every card that you make. Because one, you can always send one out and keep one, but I would just say send them both out. The other thing, wait, what did I say I was going to do? this. Yeah. The other thing is a card base is a half a sheet of cardstock cut in half. So there's 2 card bases. It's just asking to be 2 cards, okay? So why not? And then like this layer, it's just asking to be 2. Oh no. Here I am just a jibber jabbering away, and I forgot to put my fringe on. So here's another fun tip. Dental floss. I am just going to slide that under and shimmy back and forth. Keep pulling. And it's breaking the seal of that adhesive without me curling the paper back and without it ripping. So see? Now it kind of makes a mess out of your dental floss. But that's okay. Okay, back to focusing, Laura. Here is just a scrap piece of the designer paper. And I am going to take my fringe. That's what this piece is the fringe piece. And lay it down on the edge and run it through. I've told you guys before, where if you have them like lined up perfectly, a lot of times it won't go through, but how that only seemed to be the case in the beginning. And case in point, this is pretty lined up and it ran through just fine. So I don't know. I am finding that to be true with my new blue one. And that was super crooked, but that's okay because it'll still, like, I'll be able to trim it off so you won't even notice. But yeah, I'm not noticing that I'm having that issue with this one. Okay, so what we're going to do here is bring in our paper trimmer, and I'm just going to cut off where it's still attached. This is going to make a big mess because look at all those pieces. And my piece that's sticky just stuck to the back of it. Okay, so I technically don't need this giant piece, but that's okay. I'm going to leave it on there. So what I'm going to do now is grab my tear and tape, run this along that diagonal edge, and then we will press this into it. So you can see it's showing right there. And then I'm just going to trim off the excess. Like I said, I really should have made that a smaller piece. Ooh. And one of the last ones I feel like should still be there, and it's not. So let me grab, because see, I feel like it almost like drops off too much. So I'm just going to add a mini glue dot. And press one more fringe into it. Okay. And so now we just need to trim that. And trim that. Okay, so now we have our fringe, and I'm just gonna kind of wrinkle it up a little bit. It's easier to wrinkle like this than it is when it's behind a flat surface. And then now I'm going to add another piece of tear and tape right in front of me. This also will help secure all of those little fringe bits. And I'm going to go real close to the edge in order to hold that one piece on. Okay, now we're ready to add this to our card front. There we go. And then now we'll add this layer to the card front. And even though that one kind of fell off a little bit, that's okay because it's under that layer, so it's still going to stay on the card on the bubblegum part. Hi, Carolyn. Welcome. Oh, the dental floss thing is phenomenal. I will say I use that probably at least once every other class. Maybe even every class. I use it a lot. So yeah, and it can be like the cheap dental floss or the dental floss you get for free, but you don't like or something like that. Like I like to use those plackers things rather than just a string because I can't do it. So yeah, that's what I prefer to use. Okay. So then now we are going to take that label die and die cut out in basic white. And then this is where you can stamp whatever greeting you would like. And we'll also add a little bow with the ribbon. Your take your pick tool comes in super handy to pop these out. One of the other things that I will say is we are going to do a shaker card. So feel free to save all of your bits from all of these labels as confetti for your shaker card. Because the more confetti, the better, right? And if we're already making confetti with this, why not double purpose it? So there we have extra confetti. Stay tuned for how we're going to use that. Okay, so here is our label. And I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday in Berry Burst. Ooh, this time I'm going to have my label go this way. So just make sure that you have your label right side up or upside down, however you want to see that, for how you want to put it on your card. There was 2 left. And then this we're just going to add with dimensionals. My favorite. Is anybody doing anything fun this weekend? We are having a chill weekend minus the garage sale that I'm doing again tomorrow morning. But otherwise, super chill weekend. Summer is officially here. The kids are out of school. Trying not to panic. Okay, now for this, we're going to do the bow. So we have this piece of ribbon. And I'm like 1/3, 1/3. So like there's a third here. There's a third in the middle. And then there's a third on the left. Okay, and we're going to take our middle finger and our thumb and wrap that ribbon around our pointer finger. Pull the pointer fingers out of the loops and tie a knot using the loops. So this one's going to go down and around. And there you have your little bow. And then I'll just use, I like to do a few mini glue dots just to be sure that it's going to be secure on there. So we're going to do like 3. I was telling Brad that I think we have a lot of apples right now. I don't know what happened with that. They were on sale, I guess. And I might make apple crisp this weekend. because I don't want the apples to go bad. So that sounds amazing. Do you guys prefer apple crisp or apple pie? Crisp is where it's got the crumble on top, and I prefer crisp over pie because I really like the crumble versus crust. And it's also a lot faster, in my opinion, to make. Okay. And then now we can embellish with some dots. I think I'm going to go blue and this like greeny yellow. Kind of pulls the ribbon in a little bit. And then for the inside of the card, okay, so this piece is the leftover piece from cutting the berry burst. So the berry burst is 4 by 5 1/4, and you have this little leftover piece. So I cut that, and I thought, well, we might as well use it on the inside of the card. Or you can also go this direction. You could really make your card go either way, just depending on how you put your greeting. And so then you can decorate the inside of your card however you wish. And then this was also a leftover strip. So I love using my leftover pieces to, one, to use them up, but also to decorate the inside of the card. Because then it gives like a little coordination to the card, and I think it's super cute. So there's the inside of our card, which matches the front of the card, which we also need to add some confetti to our envelope. So there is card number 1. And you can see you can use this with any designer series paper. Oh, and this one I did designer paper on the top. This one I did designer paper on the bottom. Oh, and I added a few confetti inside the card. Of course I have to do that too. So you have it. Card number 1. Now let's get started on card number 2. Ooh, which one do we want to do? Okay, we're going to go with the Berry Burst card. And that is this one here. Lots of fun balloon stamping. So we have our Berry Burst card base. Go ahead and fold that in half using your bone folder for that nice strong crease. And then we have 2 pieces of basic white. One of them is for the front, one of them is for the inside. And now for the front, we are going to use Berry Burst, Lemon Lolly, and Azure Afternoon. Okay? These are all those new fun colors. And I am loving them. And then we also have big balloon. There is a medium balloon. These both have confetti bits in them. And there is a small balloon, and it is solid. One of the other things that I will recommend is I used a foam mat. This is good on using solid images for that nice crisp image. The foam mat kind of gives like a little pushback so that you get a good image with a photopolymer stamp. So I'm just going to slide this underneath there. Make sure, yeah, we're good. Okay. And I don't know. I think this one I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with Berry Burst. So I inked it up and I'm going to stamp it right here. And then one of the things about stamping off the side and stamping again is if I stamp again, you see how there's this distinct line? We don't want to stamp again on our project because this is what balloon number 2 is going to look like. And we don't want that. So you do have to be careful. So we're going to stamp off and then we're going to stamp up here. Okay, and I kind of just did like 2 balloons per because otherwise it gets really tight and like overloaded with balloons. So now I'm going to do, I really should have started with Lemon Lolly because that's my lightest color, but that's okay. Now we're going to do Lemon Lolly. I don't know where I want to do it. How about up here? And then I think I'm going to do it like down here. Probably aren't going to see much of that one. And that's okay. And then now I'm just going to go straight over to the Azure Afternoon. And I'm going to stamp it right in the middle. And that's the only one I'm going to do in the big. Okay, excuse me. Now we're going to do the little balloon. And again, why did I start with the darkest color? And these I'm kind of just going to fill in, and I actually kind of like the lighter because I like the overlap of the lighter look. Oh, and that one I did full strength. I like the lighter look, except here. Okay, I think I'm going to stop. I really think I need to stop. Oh, I did the inside, though, in the blue. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring in our other white. And this one, since I did the full balloon, then I went ahead and stamped a second one because it was all going to be on that same piece of cardstock. Okay, oh, you know what? Envelope, too. Cute. Love it. Okay. So now let's go back to our card. And we have a piece of Lemon Lolly. And I embossed that with the polka dots from the Basics 3D embossing folder pack. There's 3 folders in there. There's like a dots, sort of like a dash mark one, and I've drawn a blank on the third one, but I really like these dots. They're super cute. But you could really use any sort of embossing folder for this. It's just going to go on the bottom. But we're also going to do that fringe again. So I'm going to pull out this mat just because it's bumping up and throwing me off. So until we need it again. The dental floss is attacking me. Let's bring this in. We will add our fringe. Okay, this time I think I'm just going to press it together so it doesn't move on me. But you can also use a Post-it note or a little bit of tape or something to hold the die. If you use painter's tape, just know that not to put it on the cardstock and do like die to the plate because painter's tape is pretty sticky. And I've had it rip my cardstock before. Okay, so this fringe turned out much better. You can see it's all along that edge there, and it's very fringy. Oh, I did miss a little bit on the edge. Okay, so we're gonna trim it. Bring back in our paper cutter. I'm gonna have to do it sideways because I don't want to get into my ink pads. That sounded kind of funny. It was like, and very messy. I need a new cutting blade in there. But I don't know. I'm like, oh, let me finish this project. And then I'm done. And then the next day, I think the exact same thing again. So here we are. So now I'm going to use tear and tape again. I like to use tear and tape on embossed images anyway. So this just works out good because I'm going to add that fringe. And again, you can show as much or as little of the fringe as you wish. I actually think I'm going to nip off that last little one instead of trying to keep him hanging on. Okay. And then trim off on this side as well. And that's like a half a fringe. Oh, I might be able to keep him. I think he's good. Okay. Ruffle the feathers a little bit. Ooh, there's like little bits all over my space now. Okay, and then now I'm going to add adhesive again to that fringe. And then again to my lemon lolly. And then we'll add this to the bottom of our balloon stamped basic white. And then now you can add this to your card front. You can see how I feel like the colors came out totally different on this one. There's a lot more of the berry burst, I feel like, or it just pops more, but maybe that'll change a little bit once I add that balloon. So we are actually going to die cut that white label, and we're gonna die cut a balloon. So here's the white label. And we're only going to use half of this white label. Again, another reason to make 2 of every card. And we need the balloon. And you could do little balloons, big balloons, one balloon, multiple balloons. This is all up to you on how you want to decorate with your balloons. Sometimes getting it started is just the hardest part. Jumps all over on you. Okay. So here is my balloon. Here is my die. Again, we can keep some of that confetti. Okay, so what I did for this one, I have a sample, or not a sample, but a greeting. I thought I did. How did I lose it on my semi-clean table? I don't know. I know, isn't that tag super cute? I must have put it in with, oh, I did. So here was my first tag, and I almost feel like the You Did It looked really small for the greeting. Like there's a lot of white. Of course, you could always fill in with some confetti, like lightly stamped in the background, maybe stamp off once or twice. I also thought you could do jewels. And I kind of thought about putting it, you know, like right here, but then it covered up a lot of my fringe. And then I thought about putting it, you know, up top, but then I didn't feel like it really popped that much. And so I really like went back and forth on it. And then I kind of thought about doing it either like hanging, you know, halfway down, which here I can go ahead and we're going to cut this in half. And so I kind of thought about like hanging it down from here or hanging or doing it like I did up there. So there's lots of great ways that you could do this tag and different locations that you could put this tag on this card. So like I said, I did it here, but like another option would be to do it down there. Now, of course, once you stamp it, you kind of have to go with one because otherwise one's going to be an upside down greeting, one's going to be a right side up greeting. So whatever you decide to do, you need to go with that. So we have You Did It in the Azure Afternoon. And I'm going to stamp it kind of up high into that confetti. And then I'm going to add it to my card front. And I didn't add it with dimensionals, but you certainly could to help like bring it forward. And then I just kind of tucked it a little bit down in that fringe, just so you don't see the bottom, you know, the bottom where it's cut. It's kind of hiding like in the grass, if you will. And then I will also say I felt like after all of this and with the decorative stamping, I felt like this one looked so plain. And I stamped this image. But I stamped off once and I was really nervous doing it. So I was really light in my stamping. So we'll see. I'm going to stamp off once and then stamp down. And yes, it's very light, but it just kind of gives the balloon a little bit of texture and it's not so solid and blah looking, blank. I don't know. And then we're just going to tie this around. And yes, it's kind of difficult because you're trying to like hold it on while also tying a little bitty piece. You could also add like a mini glue dot on the back side to hold it in place. There's one knot. There's two knots. Okay. And then I am going to put a mini dimensional right over that spot to hold that on. You could also do like tear and tape or adhesive. Tear and tape would be good because I probably wouldn't peel the tear and tape off. I would just lay it down and secure it. That way my balloon will stay dimensionalized and not be like flat in that spot. And I just feel like one has to go in the middle. I know I'm an overuser. Hi, Mary Ellen. How are you? Although I always just call you Mary instead of Mary Ellen. So, okay. So this is going to go like right there. And I left my string just dangling. He's just all over and I don't know. I just kind of like it sort of swishy. Now this one, I almost feel like he's just too long. I'm going to trim him down. There. Ooh, yes, I like it better that way. He doesn't look so out of place. And then we do have that inside piece. And we're going to stamp some strings. But you could also, if you're nervous about stamping the strings, you could also just use a black marker or a black pen. So I'm using Memento black ink. And there's our little strings to our balloons. Super cute. And then we can add this to our inside of our card. So this one would make a great graduation card. It says you did it. It's got balloons. It's fun. And there is card number 2 with the envelope and the inside. There's little paper fuzzies everywhere from the fringe. Oh, wait, I forgot the jewels. Okay, what color are we going to do? Let's see. Let's do a pink one right there. And I'm going to go blue up there and up here. Well, now it looks like my card has eyeballs above the balloon. This one's got to move. Can I get the little adhesive dot? Yes. I don't know where to put it. I'm going to put it right there. I don't know. Sometimes I get so like scared on where I'm going to put the placement of my jewels. Is anyone else like that? Like I certainly am. I'm like I will look at a picture sometimes and be like, where did they put them? I need to put them in that same spot. I don't know. I just get so nervous. So that is card number 2. And then here is card number 1. So you can vote which one you guys like best so far. And we'll move on to card number 3, which is going to be the pretty peacock one. I feel like I'm going really slow tonight, so I'm sorry about that. Or maybe you're loving it and you like a slower pace. Okay, this one is a really cool trick because it uses up a full piece of cardstock. And you like number 2, it's festive. Oh, I love that. So this one, the instructions might, like the tutorial might sound a little crazy, but just like bear with me, you'll get it whenever you kind of see the magic happen. So normally we cut for our card base, we cut at either 4 1/4 or 5 1/2 in half, right? So this is a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of paper, right? 4 1/4 by 11, half a sheet of 8 1/2 by 11. So we have our half a sheet, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut this piece off. I want to say that this is 3 1/2. And why do I have centimeters? No, I'm sorry, it's 3 1/4. So we're going to cut this off at 3 1/4. And then we have our normal card base of 5 1/2 within this little tab, which is 2 1/4. And I only know that because I made sure that the tab was 2 1/4 so that I could layer it with a piece of 2x4 designer paper, which is divisible by 6 or 12, 6 and 12. It's all even numbers. And I wanted it to be 2, 4, 6 because then I got 3 pieces. And that's going to go on that card front, if you will. I love this striped paper. It's so cute and colorful and bright. Okay, and then this piece that we cut off is now our focal point, and it is going to go right here. Magic! I know, you're still using that full piece for all your layering and everything. So I'm going to actually do the inside of the card because it helps with the centering of that focal point. So I just did the little confetti fun. Pretty peacock onto Lost Lagoon. And that super fun greeting. I think it's time for a celebration. And then this goes on the inside. So there is our card front and our card inside. And now it's time for that focal point. So we're just going to stamp our greeting, happy birthday. Now comes the time in the class where I have to start cleaning all my stuff because we've already used it at least once. So happy birthday is in the lower right corner. And then we're going to do our balloons. And I did stamped off once. We'll bring in the foam mat. So we're going to stamp off once and do this one. So some of you guys might ask, shouldn't you do the string first? And that is all personal preference. I don't know. I'm going to go high up. And then I'll do the green one down a little bit lower. So you could do the string first and then put the balloon on the string, or you could do the balloon and then put the string on the balloon. You could do it either way. I don't know. The only thing that I would say about which one you would do is you don't want your string to be too high up on the card that you don't have room for your balloon. And you also don't want the string to be in the middle of the balloon. Like you don't want to end up stamping the string, realizing you're too high, and then the string goes up into the balloon. So that is my only concern about stamping the string first. But I also find that to be a little situational because there might be times where you might need to do the string first. So here is our two strings. And then you know what? No, I'm going to wing it. And I'm just going to do that last string a little bit lower and right there in the middle. And then I'm just going to make sure that my green balloon goes on top of it. Okay. So we're going to bring in the mini again. I'm telling you guys, I love my mini. It's so easy to just bring it in, put it on my card space, and just crank it through. So here's another crazy thing that I want to show you about these dies. There's two dies that are like this that have a little bit more of a, I don't know, like a balloon nubby where the tie is. And then there's this one that's like just a big, like almost like a fat rounded nubby versus like what you would say like that traditional like triangle nubby kind of is. Oh, I actually did this one. So, and the sizes are a little bit off. So you kind of have to like play with like which balloon size and balloon nubby you want. And I don't know, like you can kind of mix and match them. But honestly, I feel like they look a little funky. And I had like a tough decision on one of them on how I was going to, like which one I was going to use because of that little nubby. And I know that's probably thinking a little too deep into a greeting card that someone could potentially throw away. But there you have it. Okay, so there's our little lemon lime twist balloon on top. And I'll show you again what I kind of mean with that. With that last card. So see how this one is just like a big rounded, like, I don't know, piece. And then see how this one is like very like notched and triangular. I hope that makes sense. And if not, you all can just think I'm crazy and that's okay. So now I have another handy dandy tool, or not tool, just a trick. This goes over here and I kind of lined it up with the confetti on the corners. But you definitely only put the adhesive on the left-hand side. So sometimes you're like, you know, I added 2 strips and it like wasn't enough, or it was too much and then it was sealing my card closed. So here's my tip for you. You're going to put the tear-in tape or adhesive of your choice on the far left of your focal point, okay? Then you're going to just set it for a guide next to it, and you're going to add adhesive to the outer edge of where you're adhering it to. And so I just use this as a guide to not go, too far to the edge. So go this wide. So now I'm going to peel the tape off and press this down. So now I know I have adhesive on this far edge and on this far edge, and I'm not going to go over and have it seal my card shut. So that little tip really helps the placement, and it helps not seal your card shut. So now we're going to hold this, and we're going to center this, and we're going to go. And see, now I don't have to worry about that, and I don't have to worry about it's not on the edge, or there's a gap here with no adhesive. So remember that one. Good tip. Here comes the bunny ears again. We're going to hold it the 1/3 on either side, leaving a third in the middle. We're going to hold with our thumb and our pointer finger. Then we're going to take our middle finger and wrap around the pointer finger and hold with the thumb. Pull the pointer finger out. So now you have 2 bunny ears. And then now tie a knot with those bunny ears. And again, it's kind of crazy. So you just need to fix your tails and make the bow as small or big as you wish. I'm determined to keep putting bows in my classes to make you guys practice so that everybody loves bows. So I'm going to put 2 little mini glue dots down over the top of my strings, and then I'm going to press the bow into it and cut the tails. And then now we're going to add some little gems. This time I mixed it up. Are you proud of me? Ooh, I should have stamped my envelope. That's okay. I think this one I might just do with the double balloon again. There we go. And there is card number 3. Super, super cute. I just love how you cut off the front and then turn it and use it again. And you could cut off more or less depending on what design you plan on doing. If you wanted a smaller piece, then just, cut here and make it be like a hanging over flap. So you could always adjust that piece. I wanted this piece to be 2x4, so that's why I cut where I did, and then just filled in the white on that part. So card number 3, card number 2, and card number 1. Cast your vote. Let me know. Do you still like number 2? Do you like a different one? And now we will move on to the shaker card. So this is the shaker card that uses that fun confetti. This is the lemon lolly card if you have the card kit. Let me put away this ink pad because it kind of scares me. So we are going to start with our lemon lolly, and we're going to fold it in half. So if you've ever made shaker cards before, then, you know, they kind of shake around and jingle. And in the past, I feel like we always made them with that like foam adhesive that like went around the edge, and you had to make sure it was sealed and your foam like lined up, and you didn't want the stuff to fall out, and you know, and then you put the window sheet over the top and you die cut it, you know, blah blah blah. Anyway, I never liked that. I thought they were super cute, but I also thought that they were very tedious and difficult to do. So then when I saw this, I fell in love with it. We're simply going to take one of Stampin' Up's clear envelopes, and it's already got adhesive on the end, even though we're going to add our own. We're going to take a piece of designer paper and slide it in there. Okay. Now we're going to add our shaker bits. So you can see with this one, I added confetti as well as adding some stars. The confetti die. Hi, babe. Do you want to say hi to all of our friends?
Hi.
Hold on, it takes a couple minutes for you to show up, but then you'll show up right there on the screen. I love you. So when you use this confetti die, you can actually use the reverse image like this and do, you know, like a fun border around a piece of paper that then layers on, and then you have like that fun peekaboo image. So you could also, like, if you thought about it, which this was the last card that I designed, and so I thought, oh, I should have done a card like this and showed like the different ways, you know, to use that same piece. Kind of like how we did with the other one. But I didn't do that because this was the 5th card that I designed. So you could do that. So anyway, so I did 2 sets of this. This was, again, just one of the leftover pieces. 2 sets of the confetti die. And then, of course, we have all of those pieces on the inside. And then we also need to do another white label, which I have this. And I don't actually have my die brush over here, I don't think, but that would make this go a lot quicker. It's an attachment that you can put on your take your pick tool, but I think it's over in my die cutting station. So again, this is just more confetti that you can add to your card, or your shaker card. And then there's also a whole mess of stars in this die cutting set. So there, I just popped like one of them out. So I'm now going to pour all of this into my shaker card. Make sure it's on the front where your piece is that you want. So it kind of just looks like, not trash, like I don't want to say trash, but like scraps almost. But whenever you put all the other pieces in and it shakes around, it's super fun. So we have our 3 colors and stars. So now this is where like the Jeopardy music plays while I die cut these. I've always said, you know, like I want to do these classes like in real time, but I have to say a lot of times I really want to die cut more prior to the class because no one wants to watch me die cut probably. So yeah, now it's story time. What did you guys do for Mother's Day? Did you have a really good Mother's Day? we went to, so my in-laws came here on Saturday, and then we went to my parents on Sunday, and then on Monday, which if you follow me on Facebook, you guys already know. And if you don't follow me on Facebook, LaurasStampPad, it is the one that says welcome and hello, because the other one is my hacked page. I'm still trying to get that one down. But until then. So yeah, me and my mom and Claire went to the Missouri Botanical Gardens, and we had a wonderful time there. My mom is like a huge green thumb, and I am like a purple thumb, and I'm not a green thumb whatsoever. But I still enjoyed looking at the flowers and stuff and walking around and just spending some time with my mom and my daughter. The glass that they have there, it's their, like they're doing their, I don't even know if I want to pronounce it, because if you like Google it, you'll probably be like, oh my gosh, Laura called it what? But it's like Chilili, but it's this amazing glass. It's so stunning. I'm like, I want a piece of that in my yard, in my house. And I told Claire, I'm like, Claire, that's what I want for Mother's Day next year. You'll have to tell Daddy. And she goes, I'll probably forget. So there you have it, folks. I'm not going to be getting it. But they did have very small pieces. Like they had these huge things. They had like one small piece out of that huge thing in the gift shop for like $8,000. So yeah, I won't be getting that for Mother's Day. Okay, so I am going to leave a blue one out, a big blue, and a small yellow. So then the rest of these are all going to go inside. And I'm just going to toss them in. And then I'm going to seal this up to that 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to seal this envelope to the size of my designer paper. And then I'm going to use tear-in tape to fold over this other edge. And you know, you can also cut the corner. Stab yourself with the scissors. Jeez. Cut the corners a little bit if you find them to be like a little bulky, and they'll be okay. And then no blood. I think we're good. And then now add tear-in tape all the way around. And maybe even a dab in the middle, because that's what I do. I'm good. There's a lot of tear-in tape. Normally it's a ton of dimensional backs, but there's a lot of tear-in tape pieces over there. And then now this is your card front. And look how fun and simple that was. It always kind of takes a while to get them like apart from each other and stuff. I wanted them like placed so specifically whenever I took the photo for these cards. But yeah, so you can kind of play with it, but you can see it shakes and everything. Shake, rattle, and roll. I don't know where that came from, but... Okay, so then we have our little greeting, and I'm just going to cut this little tab off. So I'm just going to cut straight right there. And then this one says, so thrilled for you, which I feel like would make a really good baby shower, bridal shower, just announced you're pregnant, whatever that might be. And I did not intend for this, but it totally came out this way. And that's why I say baby. That is like 100% baby right there. Pink, yellow, and blue. And that was not my intention. I just kind of got carried away with the confetti. And then I was like, I'm going to do 2 colors. Then I'm like, I'm going to fill in with a 3rd color. And then I was like, ooh, those colors I picked are very, very baby-ish. So I did actually use Blueberry Bushel. I never actually used, what color did I not use? I almost want to say, have I used Lemon Lolly? I haven't, but it's sitting out. Didn't I grab Lemon Lolly for that first card? No. But I never used Lemon Lolly for this class, and so I was like, well, don't use it for this one card. Again, I told you it was like the final card that I did. So I was like, okay, I won't use it, but you could also do Lemon Lolly instead of Blueberry Bushel. So now we're just going to layer our label onto our pink and then add that with Stampin' Dimensionals to the card front, right on top of that clear bag, that clear envelope. So yeah, let me know. Do you guys like making shaker cards? Do you like this way of making shaker cards better? So that's just going to go right in the center. And then we're also going to add our little stars. So this star, I'm going to kind of tuck in and around up here. And this star, I'm going to tuck in and around down here. Of course, all my shaker stars are behind that big star. But they're in there. They'll start moving around. I feel like once it like loosens up a little bit, then they move a little bit more. But yeah, super, super cute. Now we just need to add some gems that I lost. So this one I did all yellow, but I think I might do, on this one I might do pink. And then for the inside, you can do, now like with this one, there's not the confetti like there is on this other card. So you could really do whatever you want. You could do the banners, you could do balloons, you could do confetti. I almost think I'm going to do the banner. And then I want to do, I'm not sure what other color. Oh, maybe, no, I did get out bubble gum. I did get out bubble gum for this one. Or bubble bath. Goodness gracious, Laura. Maybe that was the color that I didn't use. So you don't have to use bubble bath. Or you don't have to use lemon lolly. You could always pick a different color. Or just do like stamped off too. Super cute. Like little banners across the top. So thrilled for you. I'm not going to put yay you on the inside. I'm just going to leave it like that. And sure, let's do some more. I might actually just almost do just like the little edge Just a little like ribbon look. I'm going to do it like upside down. So that is card number 4 with our fun little shaker card. Super cute. Totally different look. Same stars. Oh, I actually did 5 jewels on this one, pink and yellow. And then very baby E on the inside. Oh, this was the piece that I was going to use to die cut, but you could also use that on the inside. Let's add some more jewels to this one. How about yellow? Or no, how about blue? There we go. Super, super cute. This is card number 4. And 3, 2, and 1. And we still have one more card to go. Okay. This is a super fun stair step card. And again, I usually don't like cards like these as much because of all the crazy dimensions, but I felt like this one was pretty easy. And this one still had a place where you could write. A lot of times I find that these cards, like, they're really super cute and everything, but there's no place to write your message. So, like, you're kind of like, okay, where do I write it? And I'm like, oh, you could always write it on the back, but, like, that's kind of awkward. So I really loved that this one still had a place to write, and it also still fits in a regular size envelope, because as you can see, it is still a regular size card. Okay, super cute. Let's do this. So we have our regular card base. This is, though, actually, it only goes to 8. It's not 8.5. Yes, it's not 8.5. It is 5.5 by 8. And we scored at 3, 6, and 7. And we're going to do a mountain, valley, mountain fold. Okay, mountain, valley, mountain is mountain, valley, mountain. Got it? Or a funky M. Or funky W. Or the letter V, uppercase and lowercase. Ah, that's so cute. The uppercase and lowercase V. Oh, sorry, I'm crazy. Okay, so this is our card base. So now we can add our designer paper. So the dots are going to go on our big mountain. And you probably almost didn't even notice, but there is a piece of green on our little mountain. Feel free to use the back side. But this is on our little mountain just to add a little, like almost a little texture and variation in color, because it is green on green, but there's that like watercolor wash sort of look. Okay, and then we have our, oh, there's my white pieces. Then we have our green. This is 6 by 3, I think. Yes, 6 by 3, scored at 4.25. And this one, we are going to put adhesive on the bottom there and on the top here. Okay, so the top and the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and peel off our, on the big panel, peel that off and layer it all the way flush with the bottom of our small mountain. And it can be left. I was like front and center is all I'm thinking of. Left, center, or right. So you can put it wherever you want. Just make sure it is flush with the bottom of the card there. And press. And then we are going to lay the card flat. And we are just going to close this and press. Okay? And then now we have that card. So now I will say, when you open it, it doesn't like lay flat opened. But that's okay, because who's flattening the card out like that, right? That's not what we want. We want the person to look at the card like that. So the only time that would like maybe be a problem is when you're writing it. But like it opens plenty. And then now we just need to decorate. Ah, that is not the right piece. What in the world did I do? This goes on the inside. This is our white piece for the inside. And I just have a little scrap piece of that coordinating designer paper. So that's going to go on the left. And I'm going to stamp that. This calls for a celebration. And these I did in Blueberry Bushel, which is out here somewhere on my table. No, that's Azure Afternoon. There you are, Blueberry Bushel. Okay. And now this goes on the inside. And then we have that front panel, which I don't know what I did. Oh no, I might have used it to die cut the label. Whoops. Well, we're just going to have to get another one. Let me pull in my paper trimmer yet again. So this is 2 3/4 by 4. So we're just going to do 2 3/4 by 4, which it's already 4. Awesome. Okay, and then with this one, I did that fun little swoop-de-doop with the Blueberry Bushel as well as the Lemon Lime Twist. And you can tell, like, it's hanging off of this clear block. I didn't need it to, like, that last card I didn't really intend to do. And this is small enough that I didn't have to get out the next biggest block, which is I think, yeah. I don't know, the big blocks just are hard for me to like control in my hand, I feel like. So I'm not always the biggest fan in using like the bigger blocks. So that's why I put it on here, because I was like, well, that's fine. I don't need a huge block. Oh no, I almost got it on the inside of my card. And then I'm just going to do like some fun little squiggles on my envelope. This Blueberry Bushel, I'm telling you, the color is just so bright and beautiful. It's just so blue. I know that's like the dumbest thing to say, but it's really pretty. Okay. And then we have our, and like you can see, I did a lot of stamped off. I actually did stamped off once and stamped off twice, and then did stamped off once in the Lemon Lime Twist. I kind of think I'm going to go bold on this one, and I'm going to do full strength. I don't know where it goes. I'm going to do it right there. So I did full strength, and stamped off once. So you can see it looks a little darker, and that is perfectly fine. And then this one says, yay you. And then here is one of those instances where you kind of need to stamp your balloon tails first and then add the balloon to the top. So it's just a matter of like making sure, like you can see I had to put my balloon like really close to the edge, but it's okay because it's not the edge of the card, so it's not hanging off in the envelope. But it'll be fine. I felt a little bit better about doing it like that on something that was a little bit more forgiving because it wasn't the edge of the card. And this one I'm going to do a little like higher up. And then we have, so here's another instance where like, see how this balloon is different from those balloons? And so you kind of have that like funky, like I wanted to do like the 3 balloons, but then I felt like it was off in like the 3, like if I did the 3 sizes. So it felt kind of funky, but I might do this green balloon and then I will do the small balloon in the bright blue. So just to mix it up a little bit on this one. Another thing that you can use is instead of the poker tool, you can take the putty and just press in the middle, and then it kind of like suction cups it back out again. Okay, so I'm going to put the white layer onto my card front so that I know how far off the edge I'm falling with my balloon if necessary. So there's that. And then the big balloon I did flat. So there's that. So he hangs off. Let's make sure, yeah, no adhesive on the edge there. And then this one I'm going to put on with a dimensional. He looks really little compared to that big green balloon, but I still think it looks really cute. So, and I kind of like the colors, although maybe a little too much green. So we are going to do some blue jewels. No, I want you up there. There you go. I'm going to put one on the balloon. So that is the 5th and final card. So let me know which one your favorite one was. Let's see. Where's my time? Why do I feel like I normally see it and I'm going blind? Well, it's almost 9 o'clock, so that means it's been an hour and a half. So I ended up kind of picking up speed at some point because usually I try to do, oh, there it is, an hour and 24 minutes. So I usually try to make this not super late for all my East Coasters, but also I know you guys all have valuable time as well. And I want to show you guys that you can do 5 fabulous cards fairly quickly. I know I already came up with the ideas and possibly even did all the pre-cutting for you if you got one of the card kits. But you can create 5 fabulous cards in an hour and a half right along with me. And then you can use them for all your upcoming occasions. I want you to enjoy your time stamping. I know all of our time is very valuable and very scarce. And so I want to make the most of your time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this card class using the Bright and Beautiful suite from Stampin' Up. Of course, you can still shop my Etsy shop for this tutorial as well as many of the others. I think I have over like almost 20, over 17, 18, something like that. So this was card number 5. 4 was fun. Well, that's good. I'm glad you enjoyed that little shaker card. This was number 4. This was 3. Number 2. And number 1. So yeah, definitely be sure to let me know which one your favorite one was. I always like to ask after my classes, even in person, which card is their favorite. And it's just always interesting to see. Sometimes it's the same as my favorite. Sometimes it's totally off. Sometimes it's the one that I was like, really? That was like my least favorite or something. I would say my favorite is probably either the Pretty Peacock or actually this stair step card. I just found that stair step card to be super, super cute and really easy too, since that's usually not my thing with all the funky folds and stuff. Because I get nervous that it's not going to line up or do this or that, but it was super fun and easy. So I hope you guys all had a wonderful time stamping along with me. And if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments and I will respond to you. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me here on YouTube as well as on my Facebook page, Laura's Stamp Pad. I'll see you guys all next time. Love, hugs, and prayers from me to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.